the recap of Berto versus Shawn Porter Saturday night from the Barclays Center. So went to the fight, and let's start with the co-feature, if you will. Jermell Charlo fought for the first time in 11 months, and he looked good. He won in dominant fashion over Charles Hatley. Charlo made the first defense of his WBC World Super Welterweight or Junior Middleweight title, and he won by a sensational 6th round knockout with a textbook right cross to the jaw as Hatley lay unconscious for a few moments. So Charlo fought for the first time since he won this 154-pound belt 11 months ago. It didn't seem that long ago, but he won the title when he beat John Jackson last May. Julian the Hawk Jackson's one of his 2 sons who box. And it was bad blood leading up to this fight. Bad blood on the conference call, bad blood at the press conference, bad blood at the weigh-in, and of course bad blood last night. It was Houston Charlo versus Dallas Hatley. So it's the Battle of Texas. Hatley he's been off even longer than Charlo. He stepped in the ring for the first time in 17 months since he upset Anthony Mundine over there in Australia. So in the fight, in the second round, there was an accidental headbutt, and Charlo's left eye had a small cut due to that headbutt. And in the final seconds of the second round, Charlo landed a right hand that knocked Hatley back. He fell into the ropes. Referee Harvey Dock didn't rule it a knockdown. I thought he could have. I mean, the rule is, would you have fallen down if you didn't hit the ropes? Did the ropes kind of keep you from falling down? I thought they did, but nevertheless, it was the significant punch of the round landed, and at the end of the round, and a round certainly that Charlo won. So jumping ahead to the third round, midway through, Charlo actually landed a clean right hand on the side of Hatley's head, and it knocked him down. Charlo was precise. He was precise. I mean, for a guy that's been off, and he's been off for a while, but Hatley's been off for a while too. But either way, for him to be off that much against a tricky guy like Hatley, he was precise with it. So right before the 6th round, Charlo's brother Jermell, he obviously told Jermell to be more aggressive, because Jermell did just that. He put a string of punches together that in the 6th round that kind of put Hatley on the defensive. eventually Hatley adapted to it and fired back wildly, and he had Charlo in the corner. And as Hatley swung wild and missed, Charlo kind of took a half step backwards and then landed a clean right hand to Hatley's chin. Boom! I mean, textbook right cross. And Hatley went down, and Harvey Doc just waved it off immediately. And then he waved the medical staff to come in because, as I stated before, Hatley was out. He was out for some moments. And I want to give some respect to Hatley. I respect Hatley because he did what I haven't seen anyone do in a long time. I may have only seen it once or twice, but he was out, and I don't think I've seen anyone do this in a long time, if ever. But I think I saw it twice some years ago, but I would have done it if I was him too. As they brought the stretcher in, and then he kind of was gaining his faculties and what have you back, he refused to be carried out on the stretcher, and eventually he got up and left by walking out of the ring. And that's a real G right there. That's some G stuff right there. So I respect him. Charlo was sharp. He was on the money, even though he was off so long. He landed 42% of his punches overall, and for a guy of his talent, it's going to be difficult to beat when at this level, when he lands like that. So Hatley, for his troubles, earned $85,000 for the fight, and Jermell Charlo earned $100,000. After the fight, Charlo called out IBF title holder Jarrett Hurd for a unification bout. So we'll see. That's a good fight. We'll see how that plays. The main event. I tell you, that's Shawn Porter. His style ain't pretty. It's not pretty, but he's going to be a tough out. And he showed you why last night, once again. Porter, he overwhelmed Andre Berto by using, let's just say, utter desire in stopping Porter. In stopping Berto in the 9th round. And that was their WBC World Welterweight elimination belt. Porter was relentless, as he's been in the past. The fight had action, which I mentioned in the earlier video, and it was sloppy, as I also mentioned. Porter went on an attack with shots to the head and to the body, especially the body, and he got Berto to the ropes numerous times, as I suspected in my pre-fight video. The fight was marred a bit by headbutts, and after the fight was over, Porter apologized about the headbutts, but both guys were cut. Was it me, or did it seem like the referee was a bit overmatched here? I mean, listen, it might be over-analysis on my part, but he seemed to be a little in over his head. Anyway, as the fight began, Porter started slowly, and I was thinking to myself, okay, this won't last. It can't last. And it didn't. While there was action, there was also the mauling, and which was to be expected from Porter. That's the Porter we all come to know and love. And some headbutts were part of the mauling that took place. In the second round, Porter pressed Berto against the ropes, and sometime during that exchange or shortly thereafter, Porter came out with a cut to his left eye that kind of was dripping down the side. And a couple of rounds later, Porter was cut over his right eye. And then Berto was cut. Appeared to be the same round. Maybe round, what was that, 4? So the referee seemed to be lost. But eventually he ruled something as a headbutt, accidental. I'm not sure what he was doing in there, and to be honest, I'm not sure he knew either. But he ruled it as head clash, accidental head clash. So Porter hurt Berto in the 8th round with a left hand shot, got his attention. And in the 9th round, during an exchange, the boxers clashed heads. Berto got the worst of it, and it kind of knocked him back. And as he turned away, he's kind of notifying the referee that he got hit. The referee continued to be in cyberspace and kind of just ignored it. And Porter said, "Okay, I'm with that." And he charged in, and a left hook dropped Berto, who was still dazed by the head clash. So after the referee finished his count, Berto's on his feet now. As the referee finished his count, Porter charged in and followed up with a double left hook to drive Berto back into the ropes, and enough for the referee to call it. So I'm just going to say this. As relentless, and pre-fight video talked about this, as relentless as Porter was in the fight, there are opportunities to score. And I don't know what you saw on television, but what I saw live is there was a counter left hook on the inside that Berto couldn't miss with. And everybody's disappointed in Berto and saying he should retire and so on and so forth. Maybe so, but I don't know what people expected from Berto. I don't know who they think Berto is. I gotta be honest, I thought he did a lot better on the inside than I anticipated. He landed counter shots that if he would have put more mustard on them, I'm telling you that he would have made Porter think twice. There were some times where Porter ran out of gas, and what I mean by ran out of gas is he punched himself out a little in some rounds. Berto couldn't take advantage of it, but I actually thought Andre Berto did a lot better than, especially on the inside, than he wasn't going to win on the inside, but he didn't fold, and he didn't, it wasn't a thing where he did nothing and just grabbed. I mean, you know, he brought some fire. He brought some fire with it, and it was a very. He did better than I thought. I'll just leave it at that. Of course, I picked Porter to win, to double him up, either 8 rounds to 4, or to stop him late. And he stopped him late in the championship rounds. 9, 10, 11, 12 are your championship rounds. And he, despite what people say about 10, 11, and 12 being it, take your pick. It was late in the fight. He got a late stoppage and earned his right to battle Keith Thurman Jr. For his troubles, Andre Berto earned $1.2 million. Showtime Shawn Porter earned $1 million. So $200,000 less. Now those were the amounts that they'll report to Uncle Sam if you follow where I'm going with that. So we'll roll with those official amounts. So Keith Thurman came in and said that Porter earned the rematch with this fight. Dude, please. He earned the rematch by beating you in the first fight. And if you were there live, at least 8,000 out of the 12,000 fans watching live thought that Porter beat Berto. If you listen to the boos when the announcement was made, the winner, if you listen to the boos continue when Keith Thurman was being interviewed, then the fans thought he won. And back in the day, if it was close like that, you fought a rematch in your next fight. Or if you wanted one in between, that's fine. Not a year and a half to 2 years apart. I mean, so we'll see. And even if, so the fans thought, the majority, let's say, not everybody, but the majority who watched it live thought that Porter beat Thurman. And even if he didn't, Thurman, you have no say in who's next. You just need to fight more than once a year. And you need to enroll in VADA testing. Danny Garcia is, Shawn Porter is, Andre Berto is, Kell Brook is, Keith Thurman Jr. and Errol Spence Jr. are not enrolled in VADA testing. And I'm not talking about the real VADA testing with all these guys. I mean, this is the clean boxing program, which is much different than real VADA testing. But at least it's something in place. But while the verdict is out on Spence Jr., I find it hard to believe that Keith Thurman is the WBC belt holder and he fought Danny Garcia to win it, yet he didn't enroll. It's the WBC's own damn rules. So what are you going to do? Strip him or make him enroll? Those are your two choices. Boxing, man, I tell you. Anyway, I have 2 t-shirts from the fight on the screen now. Should be the front and back view of each t-shirt. Got 2 t-shirts to the first 2 people who email me. Both are size XL. I might have a 2X somewhere. I'm not sure. I have to check my goodie bag, but for now, let's just say I have 2 XL Berto versus Porter. Well, you can call it Porter versus Berto now. T-shirts. So just email me. Who am I? Well, if you go to thefightjournal.com and find the owner and editor's email, you shoot me an email with your name and address. First 2 emails win the shirts. I might have a 2X too, but let's leave it at that for now. But if you're one of the first 2 and you are a 2X, we'll talk about it. We'll exchange emails. Please follow us on Twitter at The Fight Journal. Please go to our website, thefightjournal.com. On the top left, bottom left, and bottom right, you can type your email address in. And all the stories we do, all the videos, all the interviews, all the press releases, etc. will come right to you. We do have content that doesn't come on YouTube, so check us out. Lastly, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's absolutely free. We don't ask for anything. And even though I don't make money like most of the boxing YouTube channels with the large amounts of followers, we will have giveaways. And while they won't be big time prizes and big time money, just remember one thing. I'm a small-time website. Medium-time, maybe, if that's a word. But small-time website giving away money and prizes, while your big sites don't do that. So remember that when you talk about, when you tell your friends, people ask you who you follow, just squeeze the Fight Journal in there. I mean, you don't have to say our name first, second, third, but just tell them, you know, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check the site out. You might win a prize. Speaking of that, this week or next week, 3 weeks tops, we're going to have contest number 1. So stay tuned. You snooze, you lose. Alright, we're going to start with something nice, at least in my opinion, and it'll grow from there. Definitely, the contest will last for 1 week, so you have to be entered within that week. So make sure you stay on board. You can get notifications if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and there's this little bell thing, and if you select that to get notifications every time we do a video, you'll get notified in your email or on your mobile phone or however you set it up. So make sure you do that. Contest number 1 coming up sometime within the next week to 3 weeks tops. Catch you on the next one.